Hello, welcome everybody to Microsoft. We're very happy to host UK Safer Internet Day today. It's very important for us. It's very important to our sector and to our young people. In fact, it's for the whole of society.
Welcome everybody to Safer Internet Day. We've had a pretty exciting day already. We were on BBC Breakfast. My colleague Helen was on ITV Daybreak this morning. We've got the ear of the nation, but it's not just the stuff that we are doing as a centre. We have SID TV, which is happening at the moment, but we have over 600 logos of organisations who are supporting the day in some way, whether that be a school, a charity, government department, industry. We've got a wide range of different stakeholders all clubbing together because this is a really important issue and it affects all of us.
I think this is a wonderful opportunity for everyone across the internet ecosystem to come together behind a shared set of messages and values. Absolutely everyone has a role to play and more than that has a responsibility to creating a much safer internet. And that's why I'm very glad to tell you today that we are working very hard indeed with industry and others to develop and deliver much safer measures that will help parents keep their children as safe as possible. And I'm very optimistic by the end of this month, for example, that the 4 main ISPs will have delivered on their commitment to give new customers an unavoidable decision on installing family-friendly filters that will protect all devices in the home. And I think that creating a better internet together means everyone playing their part, taking responsibility, and that's why today is so important.
Hi everyone, firstly I want to say thank you for allowing me to be part of this day. I mean, the internet is such a positive place to be, and unfortunately there is that 0.1% of the time that you will get a negative situation occurring, and it's just a case of we need to raise that awareness within children, parents, teachers of how to react to that. From the experience that I had with Sky Sports, my fans rallied around me, and I've had quite a lot of children messaging me since saying, I've had problems with the internet, what do I do about it? And the biggest bit of advice that I can give to anyone is report it. That key theme of let's create a better internet together is so appropriate because it's not just about one person making the difference, it's everyone working together. And if we all work together as a society, then hopefully we can start to cut it out. And if you do see something that you're not happy with, report it straight away. It might seem petty, it might just be half a sentence that you think, oh, I'm not too sure whether that looks right. But at least if children are aware that they can speak out, they don't feel like they're a weak person because they are speaking out.
The theme, let's create a better internet together. What can we all do to create a better internet together? The first part of the conversation we're going to have is going to be focusing on that. And we're going to be looking at particularly what young people can do.
What do you think young people need to do to create a better internet?
The first part is really like secondary schools and all the kids that are higher up in the year groups. They should really set the example, and they should also promote respect and etiquette online as well as just in classrooms in general. Next thing is like Beth said, was the importance of trust and kind of being able to talk to someone, whether that be a parent, a friend, a teacher. So I think we should really place a big importance on that because it's really important that you have someone to talk to.
Because of the anonymity aspect of it, when you're on a computer, there's just some text appearing on the screen. It's easy to forget that you're talking to a real person. So then people will behave differently. They'll either be more disrespectful or they might even open up more, which can be a good thing because of this anonymity. But I think it needs to be kind of emphasised that you are talking to a real person who is the same person in real life, and you have to have the same rules of etiquette.
We put a question about schools from Laura, who's the helpline manager from the Professionals Online Safety Helpline.
Thank you. So what do you think schools are doing that is helpful, and what more do you think schools can do to help keep children safe online?
I think one of the main things which is quite useful which the schools are doing are the school VLE sites. So virtual learning environments where the children can go, and there's often school emails, and some of them are set up similar to social networking, so they're like similarities to Facebook or whatever. And I think those are quite good because it's a safe place for children to learn how to behave and to make the mistakes which are going to be made. It's better in a safe environment where that can be done, and it's only people to do with the school who can access it.
It's really interesting to see like primary school children who are now using technology so much more, and they need to be educated about it from a younger age.
At our school we have posters around the school saying it's okay to tell, like if you're being cyberbullied, it's okay to speak up, to tell, to report it, because if it's kept in, sometimes it carries on and it can go to an extreme. It can lead to suicide, it could lead to fights, and I think that schools should have posters around and people there for them. And also we're told about, say when we have e-safety, it's an assembly and it's quite a lot of people, so if maybe they could do it in small groups or classes, it will be much easier and people will get the information a bit more.
I think though, when you're educating about e-safety, it's important not to focus on like scaremongering, because a lot of e-safety in the media and in some assemblies that schools have can be scaremongering. I think it's important to be positive and focus on how, if the internet is used in the right way, it can be an amazing and great tool, not how, if it's used in the wrong way, it can be horrible and frightening.
I think a point that really gets to a lot of the younger kids is like personal anecdotes that actually happen to maybe the secondary school or the people in sixth form. Because these kids, you know, you might be looking up to them in the school. They might be like an older brother's friend or something like that, and you really look up to them.
It's been great to hear your views already. I'm curious as to what you think social networks could do to help support young people.
Social networks are doing a really good job for supporting young people, but I think there's not much of an educational sort of link towards it. I personally, from experience, know that my friends posted a picture on Instagram and someone commented on it, and it wasn't a nice comment, and they had to delete the photo because they couldn't find a button to either delete the comment, and it was quite difficult for them to report it because they couldn't find the area to report it. So I think if people know more about where and how to report it, it will be much easier.
When you join a site, I can't remember, with Facebook or something, if you have a tutorial on how to use the site, make sure you have like a big kind of highlighting, like this is how to report, and maybe a question. So there's like 5 comments, and say would you report any of these, and you have to select it as you have the tutorial when you join a site. Would be quite a good idea.
What advice and support do you want from your parents when it comes to staying safe online?
At a young age, you're more close with your parents, so around year 3 or so, you have a really strong relationship with your parents. So I think parents is a key part of this as well. So when children are beginning to use the internet, say on a parent's iPad or on the computer or on a laptop, if parents are sitting with their children exploring the internet with them, they can guide them through the internet, what's malicious, what's not, what they should be going on. Because I think for a lot of people, as you grow older, you get into secondary school, you do have a bit more of a distant relationship with your parents. You know, you're more independent, you use the internet on your own for schoolwork, for social media. So setting it in from a young age and exploring the internet with your child from a young age builds that trust and that relationship for when they're older.
We need to educate parents, because currently there is a big gap between generations, where there is a generation of adults who have no idea what they can do with technology and what extent their children can go into technology. Maybe using classes, clips, leaflets, even putting them, maybe videos on social networking sites on the front page, and generally publicising what you need to do to make sure that you're making sure your child is safe on the internet.
With parents who have Facebook and sites like that, I actually think that they should be friends with you on Facebook. I know a lot of people might disagree with me on this, but if you're posting something online for your friends to see, half of your Facebook friends you probably don't know that well. If you're posting it for all of them to see, why should your parents not see it? If it's out there on the internet, your parents should have a right to see it. And if you're not happy with your parents seeing that, then that might raise a few flags on what you're posting. So I think parents that do have Facebook should definitely be friends with their children on Facebook.
The structure of this session was about, well, how do we make a better internet for children? And we've heard about discussions around children, we've heard about parents, we've heard about schools, we've heard about industry. But another part of the strapline, let's create a better internet for together, is about the creation element. And we're going to take us a bit of a brief intermission, if you like, because we're going to hear very much about the creation side. And I'm going to invite Paul Whiting, who's the CEO of PhonePay Plus, to talk about the Phone Brain competition, which is really all about promoting that creativity for young people.
We're very pleased to say that our Phone Brain education programme that has been running through schools and youth clubs nationwide over a number of years now has helped thousands of young people to understand and manage some of these issues. For that reason, we turned to young people earlier this year for their creative ideas to help them and help their peers to avoid that uncomfortable conversation with their parents about their phone bill. We eventually selected 2 very original creative ideas as our youth club and our school winners respectively.
Our campaign is to help young people save cost on their mobile phone using the hashtag iSave. The aim is to have young people sharing ideas and taking selfies, holding a piece of paper and writing on how they save money.
Young people will have the opportunity to be part of a photo exhibition where pictures from hashtag iSave will be printed and be part of a collage which will go up in town centre.
We believe by using the power of hashtags, and let's not forget selfies, which is now in the dictionary, can you believe that, can help create a better internet together.
What I did was think of an app, design an app called Phone Bill, and it's basically a game designed for young people to teach them about phone safety and what to be aware of.
In amongst all the Safer Internet Day stuff that's been going on today, we put out some figures from some research that we did of 21,000 children, where we found that of children aged 7 to 19, 2 in 5 young people are digital creators. And we heard about the computing curriculum launching in England later this year in September about looking at coding and other such things. So we want to explore how we can enable young people to use technology creatively in the remaining time that we have.
What do young people gain from using technology creatively, and what stops some young people from getting creative?
I think technology is a very positive thing, especially for young people, because through being creative, they can have a sense of community or collaboration or involvement. And websites like Tumblr are a good place for sharing and expressing ideas and getting praise and feedback for those ideas. But I think a lot of young people are quite scared of the internet, so may not want to contribute, especially as in some places there can be some negative material. For example, Tumblr, a blogging website, is kind of renowned for, it's infamous for having some bad material on it. And one of the problems with Tumblr in particular is that people tag their own artwork. And because of that, there's no way of making sure that what you're looking at or what you're looking for will be safe for you. So I think some kind of crowd tagging or some kind of moderation by the website is a good step forward.
A lot of people don't know how to code basic coding, so I think schools should teach basic coding and have app projects. So you have a marketing side to it, a designing side to it, a coding side to it. So those who have different interests to go into careers in different aspects can all have a go at those particular skills. So if somebody does want to go into app development, they can learn coding through that. Especially because there is a stereotype of, you know, the geek who sits behind the computer coding, who has no friends. So a lot of people are afraid to kind of do it in their own time. So if they have the chance in school to do that, they can express their skills through that.
I'd just love to know what schools, industry and others can do to support young people to be creative online. And we've heard there's one guy there who likes the Chrome and Lego project, but any other ideas would be great.
The industries and schools could work together to make the GCSE ICT coursework more interesting, instead of rather using thank you for agreeing. rather than using spreadsheets and desktop publishing all the time, we could make apps.
In our school, we recently started a Minecraft club. It's amazing what people produce. Like one of my brother's friends, who's only about 11 or 12, has produced a whole cruise ship on Minecraft, which I think is amazing because, one, I wouldn't have the time to do it, and two, they've managed to produce this from scratch. So you're constantly promoting ideas, and in the business world, that's what you do. You create an idea, and then you have a conference and talk about how to improve it. And I think it gives kids a really good example of what to do in the real world and helps with their creativity. So if we could promote these sort of things additionally through school, I think that'd be a really good thing to do.
Thank you all for coming along. You know, Safer Internet Day is brilliant because of all the brilliant support that we get from key people, be that schools, be that industry, be that government, be that charities, you know, everybody works together for this particular cause. And I hope that collectively we've made a real impact with today, and the day has provided oxygen really for all the work that everybody is doing in this space. It is a very important issue that affects all children. I think we should show our appreciation for the young people on the planet. Thank you.